The black sheep's secret, the text arrived at 9:47 p.m. on a Tuesday, 3 days before Thanksgiving. Claire, after careful consideration, we decided it as best if you skip Thanksgiving this year. Victoria's boyfriend will be there, and we don't want any awkwardness. You understand, Mom? I stared at my phone in the dim light of my studio apartment. 25 years old and uninvited from family dinner by text. No call, no kindness, just quiet rejection. My mother, Patricia Montgomery, had decided that my simple teaching job was too embarrassing to bring to the table. Through the window, downtown Hartford glowed in the November darkness. Somewhere at the Montgomery estate, my family was likely toasting 2 appearances. Victoria Golden Flawless Victoria had been Dan Preston Ashford 3 for 6 weeks, and already he was more important than I was. That was always her magic. She made herself indispensable. At 23, she was a marketing star, designer, dresses, curated perfection. And Claire Montgomery was the family disappointment, teaching literature to teenagers glued to their phones. I poured a glass of cheap Merlot, my ritual for nights when the space between who I was and who they wanted me to be felt unbearable. The hum of the refrigerator and my neighbor's TV were the only witnesses to my humiliation. It wasn't new. Victoria had always been the center of gravity. She got leads, I got backstage. She got a BMW, I got a used Honda. Her every success was celebrated with champagne, mine with polite silence. My father, Richard Montgomery, investment banker and perfectionist, had made it clear what he valued: prestige. Teaching? He'd said when I told him my major. That's not a career, Claire. But I loved it, the quiet triumph when a student finally understood Fitzgerald or Morrison. That was real to me. My phone buzzed again. Victoria, don't take it personally. Preston's family is very traditional and Mom wants to make a good impression. You get it, right? XO? The casual cruelty took my breath away. She'd reduced my exclusion to a social strategy. The Zaxo stung. I didn't reply. Thanksgiving morning arrived, cold and gray, perfectly matching my mood. I woke up at 7, out of habit, before remembering I had nowhere to be. For a fleeting second, I wondered what dish I should bring to dinner. Then the truth hit again. I wasn't tea-going. I wasn't wanted. My small studio felt even smaller, the beige walls closing in on me like judgment. I made coffee, watching through the window as families carried pies to waiting cars. Normal families, families that didn't exile their daughters by text. My phone stayed silent. Foolishly, I hoped Mom might call and say it was a mistake, but the screen stayed black. On Instagram, Victoria was radiant in our family's kitchen, apron perfect, caption gushing about family traditions. The table photo showed 8 place settings, none for me. I set the phone down before anger could win. I told myself I was an adult, a teacher, independent. Still, the rejection hurt. The day stretched long and empty. Books blurred before my eyes. Every TV channel flaunted happy families. Finally, I pulled on jeans and went walking through the gray streets. The city was hushed, stores shuttered, leaves tumbling in the wind. I found a cafe open, run by Mrs. Nugent, who smiled warmly. "No family today?" she asked. "Not this year," I said, forcing calm. She gave me coffee and banana bread on the house. Her kindness nearly undid me. I sat alone, pretending not to notice the sting in my eyes. My phone buzzed, a college group chat, full of cheerful Thanksgiving selfies. I ignored it. Instead, I reread the lawyer's email. Mandatory meeting tomorrow, days AM. That word, mandatory soda, why me? Victoria was the main heir, I was a footnote. Unless, ... No. Hope was dangerous. Still, it flickered. Hours later, my phone rang. Dad. I hesitated but answered. "Claire?" His clipped tone snapped. "Tomorrow's meeting with grandmother's lawyers? Just sign the papers they give you. Don't cause trouble." My stomach tightened. "I'm not signing anything without reading it." He sighed, annoyed. "Claire, it's routine. Don't make this dramatic." I almost laughed. "I'll read everything. Grandmother would want that." Silence. Then, "Fine. Do whatever you want." He hung up. My hands trembled. Something was wrong. Dad never asked me to handle estate matters, never trusted me with anything important, and now he wanted me to sign blind. I spread grandmother's estate papers across my kitchen table, scanning every line. Then I found it a single sentence buried in the legal jargon. Distribution of primary inheritance to Victoria Anna Montgomery is contingent upon conditions outlined in sealed to be revealed at executor's discretion. Executor's discretion. I searched for the executor's name in the event that Maxwell Whitmore is unable to fulfill duties. Alternate executor Claire Elizabeth Montgomery shall assume all powers. My breath caught. Alternate executor. Me. If something triggered those sealed codicils, I would have authority, and Dad wanted me to sign without reading. That could only mean one thing: the codicil threatened Victoria S.E. inheritance. I stood frozen, grandmother's words echoing in my head. Never let them make you small. Be brave enough to do what's right. Maybe she'd planned this all along. Maybe she'd known exactly who her family truly was. My phone lit up again. Victoria's latest post. The family dinner. Glasses raised. Everyone smiling. Thankful for this amazing family. My chest ached. They looked complete, unbothered by my absence. I saved the photo anyway. Not sure why. Proof. Maybe. Or fuel. Then I laid out my best black dress for tomorrow's meeting. I wasn't sure what awaited me, but I knew one thing. I'd walk in with open eyes and read every word. If they thought I was powerless, they were about to learn just how wrong they were. Outside, the city settled into holiday stillness. Alone in my bed, I felt something new resolve. Grandmother had trusted me for a reason, and tomorrow I'd find out what it was. I arrived at Whitmore & Associates 15 minutes early, nerves tight in my chest. The firm's marble and mahogany lobby radiated old money. The receptionist's glance told me I didn't belong, despite my best attempt at professionalism. Claire Montgomery, 10 o'clock appointment. She typed briskly, "Mr. Whitmore is expecting you, 23rd floor." The elevator ride felt like a descent into judgment. My reflection in the steel doors looked pale and small, like someone walking toward a reckoning. The conference room gleamed with wealth. Maxwell Whitmore, silver-haired and distinguished, greeted me warmly. "Thank you for coming, Ms. Montgomery." I sat, folding trembling hands. "You mentioned codicils." His expression sharpened. "Before we begin, did your family tell you why you're here?" "My father just said to sign whatever you give me." He sighed. "Of course. Ms. Montgomery, your grandmother's will contained sealed codicils conditions tied to your sister's inheritance." He slid papers toward me. Victoria's $15 million was contingent upon living on a $60,000 budget for 1 year, maintaining employment, and volunteering 10 hours weekly. No large gifts from your parents. My pulse quickened. "And if she didn't comply, then everything transfers to you." The world tilted. "You're the alternate beneficiary," he said gently. "Your grandmother wanted to test Victorian to acknowledge you." He showed me evidence, receipts, bank statements, screenshots. I made it back to my apartment by noon, hands trembling as I unlocked the door. The space felt both smaller and larger at once. Smaller because $15 million could buy me so much more. Larger because I suddenly had room to breathe and choose my path. I set grandmother's letter on the kitchen table like glass and stared at it. Then I poured a small glass of cheap Merlot to steady my nerves. My phone had been buzzing nonstop. 7 missed calls from Mom, 4 from Dad, 3 texts from Victoria. "Claire, Mom said you had a meeting about grandmother's estate. Why didn't anyone tell me?" Claire called me back. "This is important." Panic had set in. "Good?" I sipped my wine, letting calls go to voicemail, knowing what was coming. 20 minutes later, the doorbell rang. Mom and Victoria, overdressed from my dingy corridor, stood there. I opened the door. "Claire, thank God," Mom said, pushing past me. Victoria followed, eyes scanning my studio. "Hello, Mother." "Victoria. What a surprise." I kept my voice neutral. "Why weren't you answering?" Mom demanded. "We've been calling for hours." "I was processing the meeting," I said calmly. Victoria moved closer, crying. "Claire, tell us what the lawyer said." "What's happening?" I gestured to the love seat. Sit. We don't want to sit. We want answers, Mom snapped. Whitmore called your father's state under review. What does that mean? I refilled my glass slowly. They told me about the codicil's conditions grandmother placed on Victoria's inheritance. Victoria paled. What conditions? You didn't tell her? I asked Mom. I thought you'd explained everything. Nothing to explain, Mom said, voice too high. Grandmother was eccentric. Claire, not herself. Actually, Mr. Whitmore showed me evaluations, proving she was competent. Silence followed. Claire, Victoria begged. I don't understand. Just tell me. I looked at her. Beauty couldn't save her now. Grandmother left you $15 million, I said slowly. But with conditions, budget similar to mine. Keep working. No massive gifts from our parents. Volunteer regularly. You've violated them for months. That's insane, Victoria whispered. Why? She wanted you to learn the value of money, of work, things I knew because I had to learn them. But I didn't know. How was I to follow unknown rules? Life isn't fair, Victoria. You're just learning that now. Mom stepped forward. Stop this, Claire. You're enjoying this. You've always been jealous of your sister? What's hers? I repeated softly. According to the will, if she violated conditions, it was never hers. Mom's fear seeped in. Claire, you wouldn't. You're not cruel. Cruel. Was it cruel when you uninvited me via text? Said my job embarrassed you. Made me feel disposable. That was different. How? Victoria cried harder. Claire, please. I'm sorry about Thanksgiving, but you can't take my inheritance. That's my future. It was your future if you earned it. You failed. I didn't know, she screamed. Raw desperation. Mom softened. Claire, you're kind. Help your sister. Give her another chance. Would grandmother want mercy or accountability? I have her letter. I know what she wanted me to do. Dad called. I declined. Mom's anger returned. We gave you everything education. Car education you threw in my face. Car not good enough for Victoria. Support with constant judgment. We never said that. You showed me daily. Victoria stood, trembling. What do you want, Claire? Money? Name a number. I saw them clearly. This was never about money. Get out, I said quietly. Both of you? They protested. Mom warning of estrangement, as opposed to now? I laughed bitterly. You uninvite me from holidays, call my life embarrassing. I'm already alone. You made sure. They left. Silence fell. My phone buzzed. Dad's text. Claire, this is a new low. You'll be on your own. Victoria's text? I can't believe you. Bitter, jealous, small. Again. I read grandmother's letter. True wealth is measured in character. And by that measure, Claire, you are the richest person I know. Character didn't warm the night, didn't replace a family who loved me. I spent the day in a fog, conviction, and doubt colliding. Relatives weighed in, painting me villainous. The Montgomery name-protecting family image. I turned off my phone and tried to sleep. Mind spinning through every exclusion and every rare act of care. Midnight came. I made tea, looking at city lights. Somewhere, Victoria cried. Somewhere, my parents schemed, but I wasn't controllable anymore. I wasn't the quiet, compliant daughter. I was the one with the power now. The question, what would I do with it? I woke up Friday morning with clarity I hadn't expected. Yesterday's turmoil had crystallized into something harder, more focused, to make a decision that would alter lives. I needed all the information, not just what Whitmore had shown me. Not just my family's version, but the full truth. I called in Sikta. First time all year end, made a proper breakfast. Toast, eggs, coffee, small acts of self-care that felt revolutionary after years of grabbing granola bars. Then I opened my laptop and started digging. Victoria's Instagram was a curated gallery of her perfect life. I scrolled back 8 months after grandmother's funeral. noting designer purchases, expensive restaurants, trips to Martha's Vineyard, Miami, Aspen lifestyles no $60,000 salary could support, even with her marketing job. The comments were revealing, "Oh my God, you're so lucky. I wish I had your life. You deserve everything, Queen." And Victoria's responses, "Just blessed, hard work pays off. Living my best life, hard work." The irony stung. I found the soup kitchen Hope Harbor Community Kitchen and called. A woman answered warmly. Victoria signed up in April. She started strong, engaged, friendly, but then she stopped coming. July, an excuse. August, another. By September, she vanished. Messages unanswered, removed from schedule. Too busy to honor 10 hours a week. Next, I called her marketing firm, posing as a client. Ms. Montgomery left in September. Marcus Chun took over her accounts. September, when she stopped volunteering, Marcus said diplomatically, "Victoria was good socially, dinners, networking, but actual work. I've done damage control, missed deadlines, incomplete campaigns, unfulfilled promises. Why resign?" Heart wasn't in it. She wanted other opportunities, spending the $15 million she thought was hers. Then Amanda Pierce, Victoria's assistant, called. She took credit for my work constantly. When it went well, praise. When bad, blame. Complaints ignored because she was friends with the managing director's daughter. I got promoted after she resigned. Amanda hung up, a side of Victoria I'd never seen. Exploiting others, caring for appearances over reality. Or had I been too busy being the disappointing daughter to notice? An email from Whitmore, my parents' attorney, inquiring about CODIS. They were scheming, trying to contest the will, but none of the legal grounds undue influence, lack of capacity, fraud, improper My phone buzzed. Preston, Victoria's boyfriend, requesting a meeting. I didn't respond. I called my father. "Did you know about Victoria's inheritance conditions?" Silence. "Whitmore sent a letter 2 weeks ago outlining concerns. So you knew and excluded me from Thanksgiving, hoping I'd sign blindly. We were protecting Victoria. Which one? I'm your daughter too. Don't it be dramatic." This isn't about you, really? Because it feels entirely about me. How you always saw me as less important. You knew about the will, yet uninvited me, embarrassed me, tried to manipulate me. What did you expect? You disappointed us choosing teaching over a real career. Victoria appreciated what we provided. Words hit like a blow. I see. Thanks for your honesty. I hung up, hands shaking. The apartment felt small, suffocating. I grabbed my coat and walked to Roosevelt High School, ending up in my classroom, looking at what I'd built. Posters, student artwork, a reading corner, my cluttered desk work that mattered. Ms. Montgomery, Jasmine Rodriguez, my junior, appeared. Debate practice. What about you? Needed something? How's the scholarship essay? Finished. I connected my immigrant experience to the Great Gatsby thanks to your suggestion. It's good. You're exceptional. She smiled, leaving. I stood there, feeling the weight of what I'd built. Not money, not status, but something real. My phone buzzed. Victoria texting, desperate to meet alone. I replied, tomorrow. My apartment, 2 p.m. Come alone, she answered. Thank you. I'll be there. Sunset painted Hartford orange and pink as I drove home. Tomorrow I'd face Victoria without parents or lawyers. Tomorrow I'd decide who I wanted to be, merciful or just forgiving or firm, family or principles. Grandmother had given me choice and permission to choose myself. The question was whether I had courage to take it. Victoria arrived at exactly 2 p.m. on Saturday, which surprised me. Punctuality had never been her strength. I watched through the peephole as she checked her reflection, smoothing her hair still, caring about appearances. Even now, I opened the door before she could knock. She looked terrible by Victoria's standards. No makeup, hair in a messy ponytail, jeans, a simple sweater. Her eyes were red and tired. "Thank you for seeing me," she said quietly. I let her ring. She looked around my small apartment, probably the third time she'd ever been here. "Water," I offered. She nodded. We stood awkwardly, two sisters who'd become strangers. "Mom and Dad don't know I'm here," she began. "They told me not to talk to you without their lawyer. But I need to understand. Please tell me the truth." I studied her no performance, just fear. "Grandmother's will had conditions for your inheritance," I said. "You had to live on a budget like mine for a year, keep working, refuse large financial help, and volunteer. If you met them, the 15 million was yours. And if I didn't, then it goes to me." "But nobody told me," she cried. "How was I supposed to know? I've been living my life normally, not playing some secret game." "It wasn't a game, Victoria. Grandmother wanted to teach you something, the value of work and independence. By setting me up to fail. That's cruel." "Is it? You had choices. You could have kept your job, kept volunteering, lived within your means. No one forced you to quit or lie." Anger flickered beneath her fear. "You don't understand. You've never been me." "Then explain." "Everyone expects perfection, Mom. Dad. Everyone. I'm supposed to be perfect all the time. It's exhausting. You don't know what that's like." "No," I said softly, "I don't. Because no one expected anything from me at all." She froze. "I know they treated you differently. I know I was the favorite, but I never wanted you to feel less. Didn't you?" I said. "You never corrected them, never stood up for me, never included me." "Because I didn't know how," she said, voice breaking. "I liked the attention. I didn't realize what it costs you. And now, you're 23. When do you start realizing?" She deflated. "I kept going because it was easier than questioning everything." I leaned forward. "Victoria, I called the soup kitchen. I talked to your assistant. I know you quit your job 3 months ago, took credit for others' work, lied about where you went. This isn't just about the will, it's about who you've become." She flushed. "You investigated me. I needed the truth before deciding something this big. So you'll judge me now from your perfect little life. It's not judgment, it's consequence. Lies always catch up. I quit because I hated it." She burst out. I was miserable, pretending to care about things I thought grandmother's money would give me freedom to figure out who I was. And the volunteering? It felt fake. Smiling for photos while people suffered it made me feel worse. I stopped because I didn't know how to make it real. "So you just quit everything?" "Yes. Because I'm not you, Claire. I'm selfish and shallow, and I care about stupid things. That's who I am." Her raw honesty stunned me. For once, she wasn't pretending. "I'm not asking you to be me," I said quietly. "I'm asking if you understand why grandmother set those rules. She wanted to save you from becoming someone defined only by money." "Maybe that's who I am," she said bitterly. "Did she ever think maybe I can't be more?" "She thought you'd never had to try," I said. "That no one had ever pushed you to grow. So she trapped me instead. She gave you 50,000 a year to live on. That's not punishment. She wanted you to live with intention, and I failed." Her voice dropped. "Now you get everything. Is that what you wanted?" "I haven't decided," I said. "What?" "I have until Wednesday. I'm trying to figure out what's fair, what's right. Fair would be giving me a chance to fix this," she said, "to prove I can live up to the rules now that I know them. You knew lying and taking money was wrong. You knew ghosting the soup kitchen was wrong. Don't pretend this is all about ignorance." She flinched. "So you think I am a terrible person and now you'll take what's mine? Do you think you deserve it, Victoria? Do you think you earned $15 million? Grandmother left it to me with conditions you broke. That I didn't know about. Would it have changed anything if you had?" I asked. Silence. "I want to believe I'd have tried," she whispered, "but I don't know if I can be the person she wanted me to be, or the person you are content with, less fulfilled by helping others." "Then maybe that's what you need to find out," I said. "Maybe that's the lesson. Easy for you to say you're not losing everything. You think this is easy? I snapped. You think I want to be the villain? To take your inheritance and be hated? I've spent my life as the disappointment. If I do this, I become the monster. Then don't, she pleaded. Give me another chance. Please, Claire, you're my sister. Am I? When did you treat me like one? You never called, never cared, never told me when you quit. You let me believe your perfect lies. I was ashamed, she said, ashamed that I was failing. It was easier to lie than admit it. And now, you want me to save you? I want my sister to help me when I need her most. The words hit hard. Despite everything, I still cared. She was my little sister, the one I'd taught to ride a bike, the one I'd once believed in. I need time, I said. I need to think without pressure. How long? Until Wednesday? Do you hate me? She whispered. I looked at her, really, Luke. No, I'm angry and hurt, but I don't hate you. Then there's hope. There's always hope. The question is what you'll do with it. At the door, she turned. I'm sorry for Thanksgiving, for everything. I know it doesn't fix anything, but I am. After she left, I sat in silence, exhausted. My phone buzzed a reminder about my meeting with Preston tomorrow. I'd forgotten. Maybe he'd offer another perspective. I pulled out grandmother's letter and read, You are not less than Victoria. The world measures worth in wealth, but true wealth is character. And by that measure, Claire, you are the richest person I know. Character, I had that, but did I have the strength to make the hard choice? To claim what was mine knowing it might destroy my family? Or should I show mercy and hope this changed her? I didn't have the answer yet, but I had 3 more days to find it. 3 days to decide who I wanted to be. Sunday morning arrived with the first snowfall of the season. I watched the flakes drift past my window, coffee in hand, thinking how snow made everything look cleaner, like the world hiding its flaws. Fitting, since I was about to meet Preston Ashford III, the man important enough for my family to exclude me from Thanksgiving. I dressed carefully: jeans, a cream sweater, my good coat. Not to impress, but not to seem like the struggling teacher either. I wanted Preston to see me as I was, somewhere between failure and redemption. Riverside Cafe was 10 minutes away, cozy and local, not Preston's usual $12 latte scene. Yet he was already there, 2 coffees waiting. He stood as I approached, handsome in that polished, wealthy way, every detail expensive and intentional. Claire, he said, extending his hand. Thank you for coming. I wasn't sure you would. I almost didn't, I admitted. Curiosity won. I ordered you coffee black? No, sugar. Victoria mentioned it. She did. She talks about you more than you think, he said with an easy smile. She says your students adore you, that you're the smartest person in your family. I blinked. She said that usually after wine, he added, but sincerely intimidated by me. Hard to believe. I'm the disappointment. Remember? The one not invited to dinner. His expression softened. About that excluding you wasn't my doing. When I suggested postponing Thanksgiving until you could come, your mother refused. I studied him. Why was it so important I stay away? Preston leaned forward. Claire, our family's reputations are tied together more than you realize. My father and yours are business partners. When I started dating Victoria, it wasn't exactly spontaneous, meaning it was encouraged, not an arranged marriage, but guided. We were seated together, invited together, groomed to be a match. So this relationship is business. Not entirely. I do care about her. She's vibrant, and when she drops the act, surprisingly thoughtful. But yes, there's pressure. Our parents see us as a merger of families and assets. That's medieval. That's reality for people like them, he said quietly, which brings me to why I wanted to meet you. He handed me his phone, a document open. This is a settlement offer. If you waive the inheritance conditions and let Victoria keep her $15 million, my family will grant you $2 million, a house of your choosing, and a scholarship fund in your name, $500,000 for Roosevelt High. I stared. You're trying to buy me. I'm giving you options. 2 million could change your life. You could teach without worrying about money, help your students, the scholarship would be your legacy, in exchange for letting Victoria keep money she doesn't deserve. In exchange for peace. I know your sacrifices, clear your loans, your small apartment, the books you buy for students. You do good work with no resources. I'm offering you some. Why? I asked. You've been dating her 6 weeks. Why care so much? He turned his coffee cup slowly, because when Victoria loses control, she unravels, she becomes reckless, destructive. I've seen it. If she loses everything, she hurt herself and you'll be her first target. That sounds like a threat. A warning, he said evenly. If you take the inheritance, your parents will fight you legally and socially. Victoria will smear you. Your career could suffer. They protect their own. And right now, you're the outsider. And if I take your money, I'm bought. Or smart enough to accept a good deal. He showed me another document. Monday morning, I woke to 17 missed calls and 23 texts. My family's desperation had reached a fever pitch. Mom, Claire, dinner? Tonight, 7 p.m. Your father insists. Dad, you're tearing this family apart. Be here or there will be consequences. Victoria, please don't listen to Preston. I don't want his money solving my problems. Even Dad's associates had texted. The Montgomery family machine was in full motion, trying to control me. I ignored them all and went to work. Teaching was my sanctuary. My AP literature class was discussing The Great Gatsby, and the irony wasn't lost on me. Miss Montgomery, Jasmine asked, do you think Gatsby ever really had a chance? What do you think? He was so focused on becoming wealthy, he forgot to become himself. Marcus added, once you build your identity on lies and money, you can't stop. Their words hit me harder than I expected. They'd just described Victoria. After school, I went to the Hartford Public Library. I spent hours researching inheritance law, calling Maxwell Whitmore to clarify every clause. Ms. Montgomery, he said, your grandmother knew what this would cause. She wanted conflicted forces truth. That's cruel. Or loving. She gave Victoria a test, gave you power, gave your parents a mirror. Whether you learn is up to you. I remembered grandmother in her garden, asking if I was happy. Happy enough, I'd said. Content, she repeated bitterly. You've made yourself small for everyone's comfort. Promise me you'll stop. I'd promised, not understanding. Now I did. My phone rang. Amanda Pierce, Ms. Montgomery. After we spoke, I reached out to a friend at the firm. 2 weeks before Victoria resigned, she took credit for my work, then blamed me when it failed. HR confronted her. She quit before being fired. Now she's trying to get her job back, still lying. I sat stunned. Victoria had said she quit to find herself, but she'd lied again. This wasn't about ignorance. It was who she was, someone who lied and escaped consequence. Preston's offer came back to me. $3 million to look the other way. I thought of Amanda, nearly fired, the soup kitchen she'd abandoned. Grandmother's words, stop making yourself small. And I made my decision. I called Whitmore. I want a meeting Wednesday morning with my parents and Victoria. I'll announce my decision then. Very well, I'll inform them. Thank you. Whatever you've chosen, I hope you're at peace. I meant it. I drove home as darkness fell, ignoring the flood of messages. Let them wonder. I made myself dinner pasta, salad. Wine and took a bath. For once, I treated myself with care, not as comfort, but celebration. Around 9, there was a knock. My father, Claire, open this door right now. I watched through the peephole, silent. You're being selfish. This affects our reputation, our business. If you take what belongs to Victoria, you're no longer part of this family. You'll be dead to us. Dead to them as if I'd ever been alive in their eyes. When he left, my hands shook, but from exhilaration, not fear. For the first time, I'd stood my ground. His threat only freed me. I'd spent years trying to earn their love. Now, I saw I'd already been cut off. Just slowly. At least this way, it was honest. I slept better than I had in weeks. Tuesday, I called in sick the second time in my career. I wrote all morning, not to them, but to myself. Everything I'd learned, everything I'd felt. I wrote about grandmother's fierce love, my students choosing to stop shrinking. In the afternoon, I bought a new dress and shoes for tomorrow. Small acts of self-respect that felt like armor. My phone was silent now, either surrender or strategy. I didn't care. That evening, Victoria's final message arrived. Tomorrow changes everything. Whatever you decide, I understand. I've been thinking about myself, our family. I don't know if we'll ever be real sisters again, but I hope someday you'll believe I'm sorry. V. It was the most honest thing she'd ever said. I didn't reply, but I saved it. Tomorrow morning, I'd face them all. I'd speak plainly, without apology. Grandmother had given me this power, not just money, but choice. And for the first time, I would choose myself. Wednesday morning arrived clear and cold, the earlier snow turning to slush on the city streets. I dressed with Kirtha new black dress that finally fit, good shoes, minimal makeup that made my honey brown eyes look sharper. I barely recognized the woman in the mirror. She looked capable, confident, like someone who knew her worth. I arrived at Whitmore & Associates at 9:45 a.m., 15 minutes early. The same receptionist looked up and did a "Ms. Montgomery. They're waiting for you in conference room." My family was already here. I took the elevator up, heart pounding but hands steady. When the door opened, they were all there. Mom and Dad on one side, Victoria on the other, Preston by the window. Maxwell Whitmore sat at the head of the table, papers before him. Every head turned. Mom looked tired, Dad unreadable, Victoria tear-streaked, Preston uneasy. "Claire?" Maxwell stood. "Thank you for coming. Please, sit." I did, opposite him. Silence pressed down until Maxwell spoke. "We're here for Miss Claire Montgomery to declare her decision regarding the codicils in Eleanor Montgomery's will," Dad cut in. "We intend to contest this entire process." The conditions were hidden and unreasonable. "Your objection is noted," Maxwell said calmly, "but the will is valid." "We'll see about that," Mom snapped. Then to me, "Claire, before you destroy everything, think carefully. Your father's business, our standing, Victoria's future, all will be damaged if you continue this vindictive course." "Vindictive," I repeated. "That's your word? What else?" "Taking your sister's inheritance out of jealousy. I'm enforcing grandmother's conditions. Conditions Victoria violated knowingly." "I didn't know!" Victoria cried. "How many times do I have to say it?" "You knew about lying to your employer and taking Amanda Pierce's work," I said quietly. "You knew about quitting before being fired. You knew about taking thousands from Mom and Dad while posting about your independence." Her face went white. "How did you?" Amanda told me the truth. "That was a misunderstanding, a mistake you never admitted or apologized for. Someone else always pays while you move on." "That's not fair," Victoria whispered. "Isn't it? Name one time you faced real consequences." Silence. Preston finally said, "Claire, I offered you $3 million, debt forgiveness, help for your students. Take it. Everyone wins. Everyone except grandmother, whose wishes you'd ignore. Everyone except my integrity. Integrity doesn't pay bills," Dad said coldly. "No. But it lets me sleep. Can you say the same?" Mom's face reddened. "We're still your parents. We deserve respect. Respect is earned. And texting me uninvited from Thanksgiving, mocking my career, that's not respect." "We were protecting Victoria's relationship," Mom snapped. "Preston's family values, appearances. We couldn't have you there talking about your little teaching job." The honesty of it hit like a slap. "There it is," I said softly. "The truth. I'm an embarrassment not because I'm bad, but because I don't make enough money." "You wasted your potential," Dad said. "You could have been a lawyer, not a glorified babysitter." "I'm a teacher. I help kids who have nothing see they can be something. That's not wasting potential, it's using it." "Sentiment?" Dad dismissed. "Sentiment doesn't build legacy." "Then maybe your legacy isn't worth keeping." The words landed sharp. Victoria stood abruptly. "Stop." all of you. Claire, I know I've been awful. I know I've hurt you and failed grandmother. But please, don't do this. I'm begging you. How? I asked. By lying again. Pretending again. I'll get a real job. Volunteer only, now that money's at stake. That's not change. It's fear. Then what do you want from me? She screamed. Nothing, I said. This isn't about me. It's about what grandmother wanted you to learn that actions have consequences. Maxwell cleared his throat. Perhaps we should move to the decision. I nodded. I'm enforcing the conditions. Victoria violated them. The inheritance, 15 million, the Newport house, the jewelry transfers to me. Victoria let out a broken sound. Mom gasped. Dad's face turned purple. Preston only sighed. You vindictive, selfish, Mom began. I'm not finished, I said. I'm not keeping it. Silence fell. I'm creating a trust. 5 million will fund an educational foundation for scholarships and student programs run independently. 5 million will go into a trust for Victoria, released only if she maintains stable employment for a year, completes 100 hours of verified volunteer work, and takes financial literacy courses. Each year she meets those standards, she receives another $1 million. If she fails, that money goes to the foundation. You're giving it back, Victoria whispered. I'm giving you the chance grandmother wanted you to have. And the rest? Maxwell asked. 3 million goes to pay off my loans, buy a home, and start a scholarship fund at my school. The final 2 million goes to grandmother's favorite charities, women's shelters, literacy programs, real causes. Maxwell smiled faintly. Are you certain? Completely. It all goes through an independent trustee, fully transparent. Preston said quietly. That's remarkably fair. It's not generosity, I said. It's balance. Victoria gets a chance. I get peace, and grandmother's legacy helps others. Dad stood abruptly. Unacceptable? You had no right. I had every right. Grandmother gave it to me. She trusted me. You've destroyed this family. No, Dad. I stopped you from destroying me. He glared, then stormed out. Patricia, we're leaving. Victoria, call me. New Victoria said softly. Everyone froze. I want to talk to Claire. Alone? Victoria, Mom began. Get out, she screamed. Even Preston obeyed. Maxwell left too. Then it was just us. Victoria's voice shook. I should hate you. You probably do. I don't. I want to. But you're right. I've been awful. I lied. Hurt people. Never faced consequences. When grandmother died, I thought the inheritance proved I was worth loving. But it was a test, and I failed. You didn't know. Doesn't matter. I still made those choices. I'm lazy, entitled, and I've been standing on you for years. She laughed bitterly. Your plan, though, trust it's more than I deserve. Maybe, but it's what grandmother wanted. What if I fail again? Then you fail, but you'll have tried. She came closer, eyes red. I'm sorry. For everything. For not being a real sister. I know. Can we fix this? Maybe. If you actually change, but that's on you. She nodded, then hugged me tight and real. Thank you, she whispered, for being stronger than me. At the door, she turned. There's a winter gala Saturday. Mom and Dad host it every year. I get to invite whoever I want. Come with me. Let everyone see what you've done. Let them see the black sheep isn't disposable. Then she left. I stood alone in the silent room, the weight of my choice settling over me. I'd chosen myself. I'd enforced accountability. I'd given Victoria a chance she probably didn't deserve. And now, I'd been invited to the event of the season where Hartford S Elite would witness what happens when someone finally calls the Montgomerys on their lies. This wasn't over. It was just beginning. Saturday evening, I stood before the mirror in an emerald silk dress that fit perfectly, making my honey brown eyes glow. Victoria had texted, "Wear something stunning. Make them see you." A car waited downstairs, her doing. I accepted it without guilt. The Montgomery estate gleamed against the December night, cars lining the driveway. Hartford's elite flowed inside. For the first time, I wasn't intimidated. I was one of them. Victoria met me at the door, radiant. "You look incredible." "So do you." "Come on, let's make an entrance." The ballroom shimmered chandeliers, ice sculptures, live orchestra, laughter echoed as 500 guests mingled. Mom saw me first, her face tight with forced civility. "Claire," she said, "what a surprise." "Hello, Mother." Beautiful event. Dad joined. Stern. "Victoria, could we speak privately?" "No, we're done with secrets." A crowd gathered. "Everyone knows Grandmother passed," Victoria began. "She left her estate with conditions I failed to meet. Claire had the right to take everything, and she would have been justified. But she didn't. She gave me a chance to earn it while creating a foundation to help hundreds of students. She's holding me accountable while giving hope." Mom flushed crimson. Dad stiffened. "I've been spoiled," Victoria went on. "I hurt people, lied, quit rather than face consequences. Through it all, my sister, brilliant and kind, was dismissed because she chose meaning over money. Claire has more integrity in her little finger than I have in my whole body." The ballroom went silent. Then applause started, swelling as people recognized her truth. Mrs. Pemberton approached. "My nephew's in your AP class. You changed his life. I'd love to support your foundation." Others followed, parents, business owners, colleagues. Mom and Dad stood frozen. William Ashford approached. "I'm impressed with Claire's handling of the estate. Integrity like that is rare." Dad's expression flickered between fury and confusion. The evening blurred handshakes, praise, admiration. Victoria stayed near, introducing me. Around 11, I slipped onto the terrace. City lights stretched below. "Claire." Dad appeared. "Your grandmother would have been pleased tonight. Would she? She always said you had steel under softness. I think I see it now." An apology? "Maybe I believed money defined success. You proved me wrong. Start by treating me like I matter." "I can try." It wasn't tearful, but it was honest. My phone buzzed. Jasmine Rodriguez, Ms. M. Just saw the article about the foundation. "You're amazing." I smiled. This mattered, not the gala, but students, change, purpose. Victoria appeared with Preston. "People want to hear more about the foundation." "They can wait." "Are you really going to do it? The volunteering, budgeting, work?" She looked at the city. "I want to. Habits don't vanish in a week." "But I'm ashamed of who I was." "That has to mean something." "It's a start," Preston added. "I'll help her, not with money, with accountability." Victoria smiled at him, and it felt real. Maybe she'd change. Mom appeared older. "People are leaving. They want to say goodbye to you." Guest of honor. "Not Victoria, me." "In a minute." Tonight, making Victoria speak truth was brave or cruel. I haven't decided. Maybe both. Sometimes telling the truth is the bravest. "Your grandmother would have said that," Mom murmured. "She loved you," said you reminded her of herself, too principled to fit in. "She said you'd either be crushed or change the world. I see now which path you chose. I'm not changing the world, just my corner of it." "Exactly." She touched my arm. "Come inside. Your public awaits." Back in the ballroom, people surrounded me, donors, teachers, parents. The family facade had cracked. By midnight, the gala ended. Victoria and Preston left together. Mom and Dad I lingered in the grand foyer, portraits of stern ancestors staring down. Their legacy had been built on wealth. Mine would be built on purpose. Ms. Eclair, Mrs. Chun, appeared. "Your car is ready." "Thank you." "Did my grandmother really approve of teaching?" Mrs. Chun smiled. "She said you were doing the most important work, shaping the future, not maintaining the past." She was proud. The ride home felt different. My apartment no longer seemed small. Grandmother had given me more than money permission to stop shrinking, to claim space, to define my worth. I was never the black sheep, just different. And different had never meant wrong. My phone buzzed. Maxwell, trust documents, finalized. Everything was done. I'd honored grandmother's wishes, forged my legacy, held Victoria accountable while giving her hope. I raised my tea toward the city lights. Thank you, I whispered, for believing in me, for teaching me to believe in myself. The city shimmered back, full of promise. For the first time, that was enough.